the woman who was punched, that's reportedly Democratic State Senate candidate Jennifer Rourke. She also happens to be the chairman of the Rhode Island Political Cooperative, and she was leading a peaceful abortion rights protest over the weekend in Providence when her Republican opponent, Jeann Lugo, reportedly punched her in the face, as we saw in that video. And Lugo, who also happened to be a Providence police officer, was off duty at the time, but after the video went viral, swift action was taken against him. And this is what we know happened per CBS News. Lugo was suspended from his job with pay Saturday and faces charges. In a Saturday evening news release, state police said Providence patrolman Jeann Lugo was charged with simple assault and disorderly conduct. And he was quick to step down, which he did on Twitter in terms of giving us notice. Lugo announced that he was suspending his campaign for the state Senate. "I will not be running for any office this fall," he tweeted. Lugo appeared to close his Twitter account on Saturday afternoon. He told the Post that he, as an officer, found himself in a situation that no individual should see themselves. "I stepped in to protect someone that a group of agitators was attacking," he wrote in an email. That's interesting, I would say, because if he was engaging in what we'd like to call self-defense, that why would you go ahead and drop out of running for office? But either way, I'm glad that he is no longer in the race, because it's clear that he has some perhaps aggression issues. Either way, he should not have taken it out on that candidate, particularly a black woman. Ben.
Yeah, this is what's terrifying, is because we've seen this escalate over the past couple of years. There were a couple instances that happened, I think the last election and the election before it. I think there was one representative of Montana that tried to body slam somebody or something, if I'm remembering correctly. It was a while ago, lots happened since then. But this is something that the Republicans are escalating. And even though the authorities came in and did something about it, I think we're not seeing enough. And I think the action that we're not seeing is very, very telling. Because if you look at tying this to the January 6th folks, right? They seem to be slow rolling the investigations. A lot of people keep getting charged and then sentenced to probation, right? They're playing with kid gloves. They're playing with kid gloves. No, we should throw the hammer down. When you have people who are trying to run for office and they're committing acts of violence against other elected officials, this is where you should go to the maximum degree of the law. This is where you should be holding people to a higher standard. This is where, the entire Republican Party, let's be real. If a Democrat even made a joke about something like this, they would be criticized by the entire Democratic Party. Nancy Pelosi would be doing press conferences for 2 weeks, right, condemning all the violence, right? But Republicans actually do this. And where's Mitch McConnell? Where are the Republicans doing this? They're not saying anything because look, and I obviously can't read their minds, but it doesn't seem to me like the Republicans have a problem with this. And that is exactly the problem with the Republicans, because their policies are violent. They have structurally violent policies that they enact on working class people. And so when you see this individualized violence, the reason why Republicans stay silent is because I think that within their minds, they actually are fine with it.
No, and I think that they are absolutely fine with it again in terms of this regressive approach where we're going to engage in violence. Also knowing that individual was a sworn officer of the law, that is very, very scary, because it's the reality that we're seeing a lot of violence by police officers.